So I wanted to talk to you all a little bit about growing your audience, but specifically through developing impactful partnerships. And I'm going to do that, but first I want to tell you a little bit more about myself because I'm sure there's plenty of you who don't know me. So first thing, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Yes, my 5-borough fam. New York City is a crazy place. Now imagine being one of 9 siblings, growing up, all sharing the same bathroom, under immigrant parents from Dominican Republic who don't speak English. All my children of immigrants, yes. It was really, really rough, right? It's like we're all struggling and we're all trying to share this bathroom and make it work with very little resources. But one of the things I realized very quickly was that being part of a collective, a community, having my family, it really instilled in me the value of community and caring about a collective and making an impact. So I want to start by talking to you today about a story around someone named Montero Lamar Hill. He's better known by his stage name, which is Lil Nas X. He's a rapper, he's a singer, he's a pop icon. In 2019, he went viral with his smash hit that went like diamond on international music charts. And he has a hit that his first song, you may know it. If you know it, sing it with me. Okay, it goes like this. I'm gonna take my horse to an old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't. Yes, thank you. Thank you for singing with me, okay? I was like, they're gonna leave me hanging or what? So I want you to participate. Even if you didn't sing along just now, I want you to go ahead and raise your hand if you had heard of Lil Nas X before I mentioned him just now. Okay, look around. Keep your hands up. Look around. Almost everybody's hand, if not everybody's up. Now, keep your hands up for me real quick. Keep your hand up if you knew that Lil Nas X is the Chief Impact Officer of Taco Bell. One hand. Woo, I got one hand. Okay. I was really like, I don't think anybody's going to know that. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I thought it was so odd when I heard that. I was like, what in the world is Taco Bell doing partnering with the Old Town Road Boy? Like, what is that, right? And what is a Chief Impact Officer? But the thing is, later I learned that Lil Nas X worked at Taco Bell for minimum wage as a teenager in Atlanta. So the reason why I'm talking to you about the Old Town Road Boy and Taco Bell is because that is a really great example of what I call an impactful partnership. And there's 3 types of impactful partnerships that I want to share with you today that have really helped me to grow my audience. And they're the Me Impact Partnership, We Impact Partnership, and Legacy Impact Partnership. Me, we, legacy. Now don't worry, I'm not trying to be a rapper like Lil Nas X. It's all right. I'm not out here trying to, spit a verse. But what I want you to know is that these impact partnerships can really help you to actually grow your audience without obsessing over metrics like followers and subscribers and likes, comments, and views. Right? Now I'm going to come back to that me, we, and legacy idea. But I want to talk about the terms that we're using in the industry, especially as, creators. And the first one is the word influencer. Lil Nas X's partnership was really about impact. And it's not impact for everybody because obviously he's an influential person. But the fact that he made a full circle moment, he actually tweeted on August 23rd, 2021 saying, wow, I've come full circle. I'm officially working at Taco Bell again. And that full circle moment, coming back to Taco Bell after his glow up, that is him showing himself how far he's come. And that means a lot, right? So Me Impact Partnerships are about me, the creator. But the term influencer shifts the focus away from me, the creator, and my goals, and shifts the focus onto getting the attention of others. Because as an influencer, your job is to persuade others by recommending things to them, recommending products or actions they should take or services. So I want to urge you to seek to be less of an influencer, seek to be less influential, and focus more on impact. How can we be more impactful as creators? Well, we have to look at the word impactful. What does it mean? Impactful means that you have a major effect on someone or something. So take a minute and think about people in your life that have had a major effect on you, that have had an impact on your life. Maybe one or two or three people come to mind right away. And the thing is, they're not impactful in your life because they influenced you to take action and recommended something to you one time. No. They're impactful because they continually provided something to you of value. Maybe it was a mentor who provided coaching. Maybe it was a teacher who helped empower and educate you. Maybe it was a friend who was there to support you through tough times. So we as creators, we have to be those friends, those teachers, those mentors to our audience so that we can be for them the impactful force in their lives that they need in order to create change. Because when you measure influence, you're looking at metrics like followers, subscribers, likes, views, comments, engagement. And that is all about capturing attention, right? Attention is like a currency today. It's like its own commodity. But we need to shift away from attention because it's fleeting. But when you focus on being impactful and you measure impact, you need to measure change. How much have you grown from this point to that point? Right? Measuring different metrics for your business, for your brand. Like how many families have you helped? How many Roth IRA accounts have been opened because of you? How many children now have a Roth IRA, a custodial Roth IRA, or a 529 plan because of your work? These are metrics that focus on creating change because of impact, not because of influence, right? Now, I want to go back to the me, we, and legacy thing because for me, I recognize that a lot of the influencer stuff, it kind of got in my head and it prevented me from thinking about those types of impactful partnerships. So I was talking to Linda from Substack. She does partnerships for Substack. And shout out to Linda because she said something that really struck me. She said influencers are on all of these platforms that really feed into their vanity. Our egos and our vanity. It's so true because when I created my MissBeHelpful YouTube channel, I remember I did it because I wanted to help other people prevent themselves from making the mistakes I made when I got into $20,000 of credit card debt in college and in my 20s. But once my channel started growing, the vanity and the ego, right? I started feeling myself. Oh, 10,000 subs, 20,000 subs, 35,000 subs. I'm technically an influencer now. So what? Influencers focus on capturing attention. They don't focus on really creating impact. So let's shift our focus from impact, from influence to impact. And how you can do that is by developing these impactful partnerships I want to share. So the first one is the Me Impact Partnership. That's when you look at something as an opportunity that comes your way and you pursue it because it's focusing on impacting you. It impacts me as a creator. So I'll give you an example of a me partnership that I recently had. I had my little Lil Nas X Taco Bell moment recently. So back in the day when I had all that $20,000 of credit card debt, those interest rates on my cards were like above 20%. And I had no idea, what that meant. But I made a commitment to get out of debt and become debt free. So I would log into my account every month to make my payments. And I would get an automated email right away when I scheduled my payment that said, "Thank you for scheduling your payment." Yeah, you're not welcome. Anyway, this is the Taco Bell moment for me, right? A couple weeks ago, I logged into my Stripe account and created an invoice that I was sending to the same bank that charged me 20% all those years ago. And how y'all think I signed that invoice? Thank you for scheduling your payment. That was my full circle Taco Bell moment. I was like, oh, I went from me paying the banks to the banks paying me. And it's crazy because it felt so good. But in the moment, I catched myself. I had to just really check myself. I was like, wait. If I sit here and focus on the fact that this is so meaningful for me, for personal reasons, because I've come full circle, I'm going to forget to focus on how much impact this is creating. And let's be real. Me impact partnerships feel great, especially when they are lucrative partnership deals, because we all money nerds. Come on now, we love money. Yes. but not at the expense of impacting and creating change. So that's where the second impact partnership comes in, which I call we impact partnerships. In your work, I really want to encourage you. Of course, every now and then we're going to have those me impact partnerships. They're great. They pay, of course. But the we impact partnerships should be the things that you are pursuing way more often in your business. And this is because they're about the collective. They're about a community, and they're about creating impact. They're about we, not me. So, for example, at the beginning of 2020, everybody on social media was kind of going crazy because the pandemic had just struck, and people were losing jobs. People had no savings. I mean, we all were there. It was a stressful time. And so Berna Nat from Hey Berna, shout out to Berna, put together a series of webinars called Hella Helpful. She said, you know what? Our community is in need. She targets specifically a demographic where communities of color who have not had access to financial empowerment before are going to come together, and she's going to offer free webinars. And she asked for volunteers. And I said, well, come on now. You can't have a Hella Helpful without MissBeHelpful. I'm just playing. I messaged her and I said, I would love to be part of this. So I had a whole session focused on saving in creative ways in the thick of a pandemic and during a rough time. Thousands of people came. Not only was I able to increase my audience by doing work that was impactful and not focusing on making money, but I was able to draw so many people into my space around financial education. And that is so critical because, again, we're focusing less on influence and more on impact. A couple months after that, I was approached by some amazing fellow Latina creators to be part of Finances en Fuego. That was Delian, the money coach, who crushed the stage yesterday, Janice from Yo Quiero Dinero podcast, Kara from Bravely Go, and Vanessa from Wander Onwards. And we hosted a similar event. We did charge for tickets, and we had hundreds and hundreds of people pay. Because we were focusing on what we needed. What does our community need? What are unique challenges that Latinos and Latinas are experiencing right now? Data from Pew Research showed that in the beginning of 2020, remittances sent to other countries, specifically Latin American countries, decreased dramatically. Of course, our people were struggling and we couldn't send the $50 every month that we usually send to our parents and cousins back in the DR. So we recognized there was a need here and we needed to address it because it wasn't being covered in your mainstream personal finance media. The brilliant thing about that, we were able to make money. We were able to work together and collaborate and cross-promote each other, so we led to audience growth. But the best thing of all was the impact. To this day, I still get amazing DMs and emails about how people opened their Roth IRA and selected index funds with very low expense ratios because of my lesson on investing. Now, we partnerships are absolutely going to be much better and more impactful than the me partnerships, but they're still limited because you really can only impact a certain fixed number of people in your lifetime before you're gone. That's where legacy impact partnerships come in. In 2018, I quit my job at a nonprofit that focused on reading intervention. I was a little burnt out. And I went to Barcelona with my boyfriend for a few months. That summer, I was really trying to think about what I wanted to do next. Did I want to do YouTube full-time? Do I really want to be an influencer all the time? I want to make impact. How can I do that? I care deeply about personal finance education because I used to be a teacher, but also because I experienced a lack of education, and I wanted to change that for the next generation. Boom. I get an email from Tim Ranzetta, co-founder of NextGen Personal Finance, NGPF. They do personal finance education for the next generation. He invited me to be on the podcast, and a few weeks later, we kept having conversations about doing something more, going to schools and talking directly to teenagers about why they need to be tuned in, why they need to actually activate and get involved in personal finance. reading books, following people on social media, get on TikTok, get on FinTok, start paying attention to not just celebrity drama and stalking your crush. Pay attention to this. This is gonna be meaningful in the long run in your life. Sooner or later, I eventually became part of the team. And today, I'm now able to work as an advocate at an affiliated organization called the Mission 2030 Fund. So on March 22nd, 2022, the bill that I helped revive here in the state of Florida, SB 1054, was signed into law requiring every single student in the state has to take a personal finance class. Thank you. And it literally sends chills up my spine because I never learned it in school. I became a teacher. I never taught it to my students. And then now here I am, actually not just creating impact for change in individual people's lives, but impact for change that is systemic. The laws need to change, and here I am being a part of that. I get to work with senators and representatives from the House and work with all kinds of people on both sides of the aisle because everyone knows that personal finance education is necessary. We don't disagree about that. We all want students to get access. The tough part is the how. Does it happen freshman year? Does it happen junior year? Does it happen first semester, second semester? Which teachers teach it, math or social studies? And some of you might be thinking, doesn't matter, but when you work in a school, it matters. So this is what makes it tough if you're ever wondering why more states aren't doing this. But there's a movement. This year alone, Georgia, South Carolina, and Michigan have guaranteed access through legislation. That brought us to 15 states. And when I started my work, it was only 5 states. So not only have I been able to work with a team that tripled the number of states with access to guaranteed personal finance in school, but I've also been able to triple my YouTube following and quadruple my Instagram following, been invited to be part of the CNBC Financial Wellness Council. I have been invited to speak on so many podcasts, been featured in so many articles, right? And been able to be on news shows and radio shows. But it's not because I was so obsessed with growing my audience. It's because I didn't care so much about that. I focused more on creating lasting impact. And then the audience came and the money came. When you focus on the audience and the money, you might not even be making an impact. And that's the trap you do not want to fall for as a financial creator. All right, now I've talked to you about what impactful partnerships are, the 3 types, why they matter. I want to leave you with this. How do you develop impactful partnerships? Number 1, put yourself out there every single day. You should be having a conversation about what you want to achieve, writing about what you want to achieve, posting about what you want to achieve. Consistency is key, but not just posting every day. Content, yes, that's great. But a lot of the opportunities that came my way was because of my network and the conversations that I was having, the people that I told that I want to be part of financial education change in America, right? NGPF would have never found me if they hadn't seen those YouTube videos I was posting weekly for years. Number 2, if you're getting paid for gigs, at a certain point, once you've been paid a few times, you need to consider working with an agent. I was so focused on my business and also my job and the work I'm doing and impact and then negotiating brand deals. Why am I doing that? You shouldn't be texting your friends asking, is $3,000 a good rate for this event? Girl, your agent should be doing that work. It's fine if you're somebody who's texted me that before. It's okay, I got you. But I'm just saying, let's think about leveling up and getting an agent. So an agent can represent you in different ways. They can support your growth by connecting you with important people, potential partners, and most importantly, they can negotiate on your behalf to increase what you make so your money grows as your audience grows. So shout out to Adam Kirshner, who is an amazing personal finance agent extraordinaire. Super appreciate working with him. And the last thing, stop obsessing over audience growth. It will come as a byproduct. Let's stop focusing on making money and shift our focus to making meaning. Thank you.
All right, let's hear it for Yanely.
Ooh, let's hear it for
Excellent.
Yanely.
Thank you. We got one question for you before you go.
Okay, let's do it.
Absolutely.
So how do you balance the me, we, and legacy
Yes.
impact that you can make?
Yes. So let's be real, you know, we need to put bread and meat on the table. So we partnerships are really great because they allow you to collaborate with others. That cross promotion is really great. And they also allow you to affect others who can become paying clients. Me partnerships usually have more money involved, but those, to me, as I've grown, I realized I deprioritize them. The realness is that the legacy impact partnership, you'll be lucky if you're like me and you can find one that is so deeply meaningful that it will live beyond your lifetime. But put in the work and try to figure out what that could be, because it's the most rewarding experience ever.
Fantastic.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time.
Let's give it
Appreciate
up.
Thanks, y'all.
Big round of applause. Big round of applause.
Yes.